One of the things I like to do every month is to put out water under the full moon. So I make lunar water every month, and I put a bowl of spring water out, which I've actually put out tonight. And I also put the glass bottle. I buy my spring water's local spring water in a glass bottle, which makes it really nice. So I put that out as well. So because water in a dish is going to start getting dusty and being a bit stale after a few days, so I refresh from the bottle. Now, I wouldn't drink it from the bottle after a few days because obviously it's still not a good idea once water's been opened. But it means that I've got water for my altar, which I put on and make sure is fresh when I have my clients and when I'm teaching. I like to have whatever moon we've had, and this is the Taurus full moon, but whatever full moon the energy is going to be captured in the water. I work with 3 nights of the full moon because I live in Mid Wales. Sometimes it's raining, sometimes it's very cloudy. Now, the full moon energy is still there, even if it's raining or cloudy. It's still there, it's above the clouds. But it always feels more magical if you can see the moon, or if the moon can actually shine into the water, or if when you bring the bowl of water in the morning, it hasn't overflowed with rainwater, which is fine if it has. So I usually look for the best weather that I can get, and it's either the night before the absolute full moon, the night of the full moon, or the night after. So you can also put your crystals out if you want to under the full moon to charge them up, especially the more feminine, yin, lunar type crystals. The exception being the one we're using tonight. We're using selenite, which is water sensitive. So don't stick that out overnight if there's any chance that it could get damp or rain, because that would be a problem. But you can put it on the windowsill and let the moon shine onto it. So use the full moon energy, and you can stand in the full moon energy and have a moon bathe as well on a clear night and just let the moon fill you up and really enjoy having that connection with the moon. And by doing the circle every lunar month, I'm really enjoying the rhythm that gives to my life. So this is the end of the 3rd year of Silva Lunar Circle. We're about to go into the 4th year in 2026. Every lunar cycle in circle, we connect with a goddess and we connect with a crystal, and we use the crystals more like keys that help us tune into an energy, into a goddess energy. I was meditating, and the goddess actually came forward to tell me who wanted to work with you. She said, "I'm going first." So it's like, oh, okay. And she was quite assertive, but very beautiful. And it's Selene. Selene, if you don't know about her, she's an embodiment of the moon. So the ancient Greeks saw her as the moon, synonymous with the moon. And she's in mythology, in Greek mythology, she's a daughter of the Titans, and you might have heard of the Titans. They were the race of gods and goddesses that came along before the Olympians, before the gods and goddesses of Olympus. And she was believed to draw the moon along using a chariot, and it was a silver chariot being pulled by white horses through the night sky. And she would drive them across the night sky and then plunge into the sea every night so that she would be freshly bathed for the next journey across the sky. So they imagined her coming out fresh and radiant every night to make her journey across the sky. And she radiates the silver light of the moon itself. And her name comes from the Greek word for brightness or gleaming, and lends itself to the name of our selenite, our crystal selenite. And this is the satin spar selenite. So it bears her name. She's also the sister of the sun god, who is Helios, and he takes the sun across the sky drawn by horses. So they do shift between them. He does the day shift, she does the night shift. And there is a story about Selene, which I think is really beautiful and charming, because you'll probably notice that on certain nights you can't see the moon, the sky's dark, you cannot see her. And it's said that on those nights when she's absent from the sky, she is with her lover. And she is with her mortal lover down here on earth, and he's called Endymion. And this is a very ancient relationship, a very loving relationship. It happened long ago that she was going across the sky in her chariot when she peered down and she saw this absolutely gorgeous young man who was a shepherd. And she was so entranced by his appearance that she landed her chariot and immediately fell in love with him, and he looked upon her, and she is a beautiful radiant goddess, so of course he fell immediately in love with her. But the problem was he is mortal, she's immortal, and she knew that his life would go by so quickly in terms of her immortality, and she wanted to spend every minute she could with her lover, which meant the moon didn't go across the sky anymore. And that was noticed. It was noticed by the people and it was noticed by the gods, and it caused great consternation. So eventually Zeus had to intervene, because there she was spending her time with her lover, no moonlight. And Zeus cast a godly spell upon Endymion so that he was put into an enchanted sleep. And he was put into a sleep where his eyes could be open so that he could gaze upon the lovely face of the goddess. But the sleep would mean he was effectively an immortal as well, which meant she could go back to taking the moon across the sky. But for a few days every month, she consorts with her lover and they are together. And it seems to have been a very good match, because reputedly they had 50 daughters together. So he may have been asleep, in inverted commas, but obviously there were some parts of him that did function. And she was able to have his babies. And she is only absent from the sky for a few nights a month. So, very charming story. And we're going to connect with the moonlight using selenite and connect with the goddess Selene now. So if you get yourself comfortable now, you could do this outside for yourself and actually do this under the moonlight, which is really special to do it on a clear night sky with a full moon and actually have that connection. But we're going to draw down the moon with our selenite in the inner world. We're going to visualize it. Okay, and first thing is we're going to hold the selenite, whatever form of selenite you've got, doesn't matter. And we're going to ask the goddess Selene to protect your energy as you do this visualization, or if you go outside, ask her to protect you as you make the connection. So the first thing, and we'll do this with our eyes closed. So outside, you can have your eyes open. So in your mind's eye, imagine the beautiful face of the full moon, shining moon. And just take a moment to visualize how lovely she looks. And take a breath. And imagine looking around, taking your awareness to the landscape around you. Maybe you're in your garden, maybe you're out on the hills or by a lake or by the ocean, wherever your mind's eye has taken you to be under the moon. Look at the way the landscape is lit and bathed with an ethereal glow. Now imagine that you're holding your selenite aloft so that your crystal can catch the light of the moon and look at it as it gleams in the moonlight. And know that as you hold your selenite up vertically, it will help to channel the moonlight down to you. So once you can see in your mind's eye that your crystal is lit by the silvery light of the moon, you can imagine a moonbeam that flows directly through it. And it flows into your own energy. And you can imagine holding the selenite above your head and picture the moonlight flowing into your crown, filling your head, flowing through your neck, filling your chest with her silvery radiance. See the pure moonlight dissolving away any stagnant energy, cleansing you, cleansing your mind, cleansing your throat, cleansing your heart. And now imagine that cleansing, beautiful moonbeam is flowing down through your torso, flowing all the way down into your belly, filling your belly. And then the moonbeam flows out between your legs, blessing this most sacred and private part of your body as the light passes through. And you watch as the moonlight cleanses you and clears away any stagnant energy from your body as it passes. And it flows down onto the earth at your feet and forms a pool of moonlight all around your feet before it continues to sink into the earth. And as the silvery light of the moon is absorbed into the earth, you can feel your own energy becoming more and more grounded. Feel your own energy linking deep into Mother Earth. And now watch as the beam of moonlight expands to surround you, flowing all around you. And know that the Moon Goddess Selene is wrapping you in her shining silver cloak of protection. Feel it surrounding you, see it surrounding you, and know that this is a gift of the Goddess. And as you stand bathed in the moonlight, make a wish for the lunar months ahead. And you can just say thank you to Selene. Know that she has you wrapped and safe and blessed. And you might want to write in your journal, write down whatever you wished for. And know that when you hold the selenite. During the month, when you touch the selenite, you will visualize that cool, cleansing moonlight, and you will remember that you have a beautiful silvery cloak of protection to wear. So, letting yourself come back into the moment, come back into your body, solidly grounded, taking a deep breath, and then when you're ready, you can open your eyes.